All right, well, welcome everybody. My name is Matthew Stewart, and I'm joined with my good buddy, Shannon Pyatt. And Shannon, I want to introduce you this way. You are the only KvCore peer coach from inside real estate. And you happen to be at EXP here at EXP with me. I've kind of, wrangled you in here because you are the absolute expert in this, all things KvCore. I keep telling people it's such a robust program. Arguably the most powerful CRM for realtors today and so forth, that sometimes it's kind of overwhelming all the stuff that it can do because there is so much. And so I was hoping that we would get together like we are now, and you would give bullet points, since you are the expert authority, of just, all the things that KvCore can do to help agents build their business. So I'm going to kind of step aside and realize that, we're going to just bullet point this and then they can drive deeper with, following up with myself on what did he mean by that, squeeze page, landing page, smart number, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Absolutely. Well, there's a lot to unpack. I mean, there is, as you said, it's a robust system, and it's a very robust system. So, I mean, literally, here's the first thing I want everybody to understand is that KvCore does everything for you with the exception of two things. It will not make the phone calls for you, and it will not go on the appointments for you. That's it. Wow. It does everything else. And what's coming with AI and everything else is going to just absolutely blow their mind. I mean, that's what's
the BT Pro you were telling me about. You were invited in to be on the early adoption before it's even available to anybody. And that's because Inside Real Estate, who owns KvCore, also now owns Boomtown. They bought out Boomtown, right? So they're merging those two together and going to do Boomtown, KvCore, and AI or something, right?
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. I mean, I tell everybody this: if you could imagine taking Follow Up Boss, Chime, Boomtown, and KvCore and putting them together, that's what we're working on for 2024.
And EXP agents will have access to that?
Correct. Wow. As a matter of fact, we're actually going to have more access available to us than a lot of other brokerages, because you have to understand something. KvCore is available at other brokerages. However, here's the challenge. They get the base bottom line that you can get, right? Glenn pays extra so that we get additional features.
Glenn Sanford, our founder.
Exactly. Yes.
EXP, yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So
he pays extra, so we get additional features?
Exactly. We get a lot of features that they would not give to just anyone. I mean, like for instance, one of the features is the home evaluation part. I just drew a blank. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Anyway, there's a one that'll do a CMA, a seller CMA for you. That is actually a feature that is not available unless you pay extra for it. And we have it here.
Oh, wow. Well, why don't you just start rattling off kind of bullet points of things? I had mentioned, landing pages, squeeze pages, smart numbers, but I'm kind of a neophyte to a degree. That's why I brought you in on this. And, there's a lot of agents that are at other companies that are really now seriously considering EXP. They see the value proposition. They've met with me and they're like, wow, I thought I knew EXP, from what I'd heard on the street, but I didn't realize all this stuff. No wonder so many large production teams and even brokerages are aligning with EXP. So, but a big thing they bring up is the aspect of, I want to continue to grow my production, and a CRM is a big deal. They either don't have one and they know they should be using one. So this would help them in the transition. If I'm already going to transition to EXP, why not then also transition into a CRM? Pretty smart move, by the way. But some of them are using a CRM, but maybe not using it very well, or the CRM they have is real basic and it just doesn't have a lot of different add-ons and opportunities to really supercharge their business like a KvCore. So I wanted to bring you in and just kind of, let's wow them.
Okay. Wow. Awesome. What
do we got here?
First of all, it's not just a CRM. It's a CRM and a website together. Okay. So people need to understand that this is what we call a sticky website. Okay. What I mean by a sticky website is you've been to a traditional website where it's just got their picture and maybe a picture of their cat and then telephone number and a couple of houses, right? That's not really a sticky website. That's just you're waiting on them to call you. A sticky website is where you go to a website and there's tons of information there. There's tons of houses. There's tons of things that they can learn about the buying or selling process. And they click on that. And then all of a sudden, now they have to register. When they register, you're going to get the lead. The whole purpose of a website is not to just say, here I am, this is me. It's to actually generate leads, right? That's the whole purpose of the website, is to generate leads. And that's what this is. This is a lead generating website. Now, there's a few features that KvCore offers. Number one is they're going to offer your ability of building a squeeze page, a landing page, and a call text capture feature as well. Now, those are the three ways of generating leads, three major ways of generating leads. You can also advertise listings if you have your own listings, or if you're at EXP, for example, if you don't have listings, we're one big brokerage, right? So we share listings across the board with other EXP agents. That's a great thing for you, because now if you're a brand new agent, or you're an agent that's in a slump and doesn't have any listings at the moment, you can borrow from other agents and advertise those through KvCore and generate the leads the same. So
Wow.
it's never I don't have any inventory, right? That's the good thing, right? So there's different ways of doing that, though. You can advertise, you can market the listings, you can use a squeeze page or a landing page. Now, there's a difference between a squeeze page and a landing page.
Yeah, what is that?
Difference? Do you know the difference?
You had told me there, and I don't fully. I was told at one point they were the same. So enlighten us briefly here.
They are not. So a landing page, and I'm sure we've all been this, you've done this as well. You go to a page and there's nothing there except for just a place to put in your email address, your name, and your phone number. And that's it. And there's nothing else. It's got a picture or a video behind it, and that's it. That's a landing page.
Yeah,
okay. So a landing page is you land on it, you either put in your information or you bounce. Okay. A squeeze page is you squeeze them in slowly. So, for instance, you find a home on Facebook that I'm advertising, you like it, you click on it, you go to the next home, and now it's going to make you register. When you register, now I've got that lead and I can follow up. Now, here's another thing that attaches to that, okay, is a smart number. A smart number is assigned to you automatically. However, it's recommended to get your own smart number. That's things we can go into in more depth later on. But however, I will say this, that whenever a lead comes in to your database, if you've got it set up correctly, then it will automatically start emailing and text messaging that lead on behalf of you.
Oh, wow.
Right? So that you do not miss any leads that come through. Okay.
Is that called an automation?
It is. Yes. It's automation. Sure is. It's a campaign.
Campaign.
Yep, campaign.
Okay.
Now that's going to be changing in 2024 because AI is coming in. And AI is pretty powerful. That's what it's doing right now. I can literally go on and say, let's say I want to send a welcome message to someone. I could say, type out a welcome message to Rachel. And it'll literally type out a welcome message for them right there in an email or a text. And then I hit send. Now, what's coming, what we're working on, what's coming, this is going to be so cool. I'm allowed to talk about this. I can't talk about a lot because I'm under an NDA, but this is one thing I can talk about, is that we're going to have the system to where it will automatically respond to the person. So if the person says, you know what, I'm looking for 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, blah, 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 not only is it going to automatically set up the listing alert that they requested, so they asked for 4 bedrooms, 3 baths in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's immediately going to set that listing alert up for them without you doing anything. And then it's going to give a little bit of a pause there. And then it's going to reply back to them. Oh, thanks so much. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths in Charlotte, North Carolina. We got you taken care of. You're all good. By the way, is there anything else I can add to that? This is all done with AI.
Wow.
Okay.
That's going to free up realtors' time.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to really free up your time. So campaigns are important now. In 2024, they may not be as important because the AI is going to kind of take over and start reading that message and responding to that message based upon what it reads. Okay, so that's a really cool feature that's coming. The other thing is the call text capture feature. A lot of places charge you extra to have a code that people can text to, right? So you're going to get your phone number. If you get your own smart number, this is one of the reasons I recommend getting your own smart number, is because you can advertise that number anywhere and then put, like, for instance, home value. I do this all the time. Here's a little freebie for everybody, right? I go out and I have the number, and then I made the code home value. And I went to Vistaprint and I had 500 cards made up, 5,000 cards, whatever made up. And it just says your home value is changing. To find out the value of your home, text home value to this number. Right.
Huh.
And so then when they text it in again, it's pulling that lead into KvCore and it's starting a text message campaign with them right off the bat. So it's a pretty unique system in that regard. Now that's just the lead generation part. The other part is the follow-up, right? You got to have the conversion, right? And so the system has so many built-in features. One of the features it has is it will automatically go in and check Facebook, Instagram, X, which is formerly Twitter, any of those social media platforms. It's going to take that person's email address or phone number, whichever one they have, or if they have both, and it's going to bounce it off of each of those social medias to find out, did they use that email address or that phone number in any of those social medias? So for instance, Bob may be the name of the lead that comes through, right? We get the name Bob come through. Well, Bob's real name is Frank. Okay.
Oh.
And so it's going to automatically find Frank on social media if he used that email address, and it's going to ask me, would you like to change his name to Frank?
Oh, really?
So it does a lot of that behind the scenes for you without you having to do anything other than just click a button, right, to allow it to do that. Huh. The other things that it does, I mean, it's pretty amazing. You can set up a call feature. So for instance, let's say someone says, call me back in 6 months, which we all know to call back in 3 months because we're going to cut that in half, right?
Yeah.
So we call them back in 3 months, right? We put it in our calendar. Instead of putting it in our calendar, what we're going to do is we're going to attach our calendar to our KvCore system. And then whenever I go in to schedule a call, I'm going to put link with Google, and it's going to automatically put that phone call in my calendar for me to call in 3 months' time. Okay. It's going to automatically add that to my Google Calendar. I can even set it up to where I have multiple calls. So for instance, let's say it's someone that, they're dragging their feet. Maybe they're not going to buy for a few years or whatever the situation may be. I can set it up to where it will remind me, or it'll put a reminder in my calendar once a month or once a week or once every day or whatever to remind me to call those particular people. So I don't even have to log into my KvCore to do that. It's going to be right there on my calendar when I look at my calendar to see what's going on for the day.
That's a big deal. I've trained myself to work exclusively from my calendar. I do not commit things to memory. It's way too stressful. And I trained my wife that as well. She kind of fought it at first. Now she's like, nope, it's not on the calendar. It doesn't exist. I go, that's right. And so to be able to have it where I don't have to log into KvCore, I didn't know that. I just learned that's
I would recommend logging into KvCore. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull up on your calendar. It's going to have a link. And you're going to click that link, and it's going to take you directly to that particular person, so that you can call them from right there. Now, here's the other thing: is there's built-in call features. So, for instance, if you want to call someone directly from your KvCore, it's going to call your phone, and then it's going to connect you, and then it's going to call that particular lead. Now, if you've got your own smart number, in many cases, you can have that recorded, depending upon the state you live in, right?
Wow, that's pretty cool. And then will it be filtered down into the notes of the contact section? Yep. So you could go and re-listen to the recording? Wow.
Exactly.
There also are some add-ons that are available. These are not, I don't think, included with KvCore EXP, but you could add, like Slide Dial would be one of them, right? Isn't there something where you can do...
So there's two major ones that I recommend. Okay. They have a slide dial feature. It's called ringless voicemail, whatever it is. Right. But basically that's what it is. It's going to call a number without ringing that number, and it's going to leave them a voice message that you've pre-recorded. Now that's great, well and good, but I got to tell you, most people today don't really leave or listen to voice messages a whole lot. So if you're going to choose between the voice message, the ringless voice message, or the BombBomb feature, because BombBomb is now integrated inside of KvCore as well.
That's video.
That's video, right?
Yeah.
I would highly recommend that, because you're going to pay per dial on the slide dial side, on the ringless voicemail side. If you're looking at the BombBomb feature, that is unlimited video sends for $30 a month.
Wow.
Okay, so you can't beat that.
And everything's going video today. I mean,
Absolutely.
that is all the algorithms, Facebook and all these, they're all putting a precedence on video. And so
Yes.
to be able to have the power in your hand, have a CRM that you can send a video to, a bomb is kind of like you can attach an email, or you can maybe text as well with a bomb. Right.
Yep.
And it gives the kind of little slightly moving thing, and then it replays again. And
It's
they want
awesome
to
because
click on it,
it gives the little caption thing there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see it
Yeah.
moving for a second or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I can tell you right now, that's made a big difference in my real estate business, is using that particular feature, because it gets me to know them, or it feels like they know me, rather. Let me rephrase that. It feels like they know me before I even walk in the door. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a person's house to list their house, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I got so many videos from you. I felt like I already knew you."
Exactly.
Right? Or
It's
they
that
give you a
celebrity
hug.
effect kind of
Yeah.
thing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. It
Exactly.
what's interesting, on a note on this, on how important this is, I learned this recently and I've been sharing it with people because it just was an aha moment for me, was the human brain is unable to decipher between you and I meeting in person and them watching a video of me speaking to them directly. The brain feels or deciphers the information that we were in person.
Right. It
It's a
certainly
trip,
does.
right? So it's like, why shouldn't we as a professional all be using video
Absolutely.
to, shorten that learning curve or the trust curve between a client, or, so on. So it's a big
Exactly.
deal.
One other thing that I didn't talk about that I think is really important, is there's something called a smart CRM. Okay, and the smart CRM will allow you to make groups of categories, so you can filter down, and you can say, maybe I just want buyers with a telephone number created in the last 20 days or whatever it is, right? And then you can create little groups at the top. Those are hot buttons, and you can click on a hot button, and now it's going to pull up all of those people into one sheet right in front of you. And then you click at the top and you can highlight every single one of them. And you can send them all a video. You can send them all a text message. You can send them all an email. It doesn't matter. You can literally reach up to 250 people at a time with that feature.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, we have something that I understand is proprietary to EXP agents, and that is Make It Rain.
Yes.
You want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so Make It Rain is basically just an ancillary product inside of KvCore. Now you do have to pay for it, okay? So it's not something that's free, because you're going to have to pay for the advertising. But Make It Rain, I've got a lot of people that use that. It automatically goes in and does the heavy lifting for you, so to speak. And all you have to do is really kind of sit back and nurture the leads as they come in, follow up with the leads, call them, that kind of stuff. You also have Property Boost inside of there as well. So again, if you don't have a property, right, you can go in and property boost the property inside of KvCore as well.
So from what I understand, roughly about $300 a month will produce anywhere from 40 to 60 quality leads specific to you. Is that about right?
Roughly, yeah. So somewhere in that range. And I've got ways that I can teach people, and I do teach people how to do it absolutely free and not having to spend any money at all. And so, I have people people that are in my team and in my organization, with EXP, I've taught them how to generate, 40, 50 leads a month, and it not cost them anything.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, and I appreciate you because of our friendship and connection and both being leaders. I know you've opened that up and shared that with the people that end up, joining my organization with me and so on. So thank you for that.
No problem.
There's another thing in regards to follow up with your sphere that KvCore does that I think is pretty powerful. One, you can create newsletters, right? And two, you can do market reports. I think those are two pretty big things that you get those started, and you kind of set it up once, and then it does it for you in a sense, at least market
exactly. The newsletters take just a little bit of time to learn how to do. Not very hard. Once you get it done, it's ready to go. The market reports, I say everybody should be set up on market reports. I don't care if they're a buyer, if they're a seller, it doesn't matter. They should be set up on market reports. I was an old top producer guy, right? I worked with Top Producer as my CRM for years, and we had something called Market Snapshot. Okay. That was like $150 a month just for that feature. It was expensive. Okay.
Yeah.
And all it was is basically telling people, showing people, okay, here's the highest priced home, here's the lowest priced home, the medium priced home. And you could click through and look at the photos and all that different stuff. Same concept. KvCore has included absolutely free. Right. So that's one of those features that I would recommend everybody utilize. The other thing is, like I said, it's got to be a built-in CMA feature in there. It's kind of like a toolkit CMA or a cloud CMA, if you will, right? But it's a very unique tool that's in there. And then there's another tool as well where you can notify the sellers of their activity each week or every 2 weeks or whatever. It will automatically go in and notify people, okay, you've had X amount of people look at your property, X amount of people save your property, so on and so forth. And it sends it directly to the seller on your behalf. So it makes it look like you are the hero.
Wait, okay. That was an aha for me. So if I heard you correctly, on my listings, because I say, yeah, I'll reach out to you on Wednesdays. We give our market updates or the listing update or what have you. Did I hear correctly that on my listing, I can set it up where it will go and data mine or whatever, how many showings or views or saves or clicks or whatever.
Right. You can't control how often it sends it. But I do know that I think it's either weekly or bi-weekly. I can't remember what it is exactly.
Weekly,
but it does send an update to your seller that says X amount of people have looked at your property, X amount of people have saved your property, so on and so forth. And so that's a feature right there in your back office of that particular client when you go into their profile.
That's pretty cool, because that's one of the most common objections or frustrations sellers have. I called a lot of expired listings in my day. And one of the top things that they were frustrated about is they never heard from the realtor after the first presentation. They signed the agreement and then they and then they never knew exactly what they were doing for them on the marketing. And they didn't remember everything they shared when they were wowed on appointment number one. And so a little pointer for you, rock stars out there, you should be informing your agent or your sellers of everything that you're doing marketing wise throughout the whole process. That increases your referral game big time because it builds up trust. Hey, this, Sally sells a lot. She does what she says she's going to do. She's calling me with a report every Wednesday on update and showings. Anyway.
Right.
Okay. Pretty cool.
That's a great feature. And it is something that's available to us.
Anything else before? I don't want to make this too long, but I want to show, there's a lot of stuff.
One more thing is, and it's kind of a new tool. A lot of people don't even know it's there, but it's done for you products. And what I mean by that is basically your listing flyers, your brochures, your door hangers, your whatever. If you take a listing, you can click a button inside of KvCore and it will automatically produce all of that with the photos, with your number, with your picture, everything right there. And all you have to do is simply send it to a place and print it out or print it yourself.
Wow. Does it give you done for you products in regards to like social media postings or anything like that? Really? Oh, that's a game that's a time saver for realtors. So they're not having to go create everything from scratch. If I'm hearing you correctly, you make the listing active and then KvCore will go, hey, these are some suggestions on what we've already built out for you marketing wise. Wow, that's really cool. Well, is there any last things you want to share, my man? That you are the expert. I'm learning stuff from this. This is awesome.
Other than, here's the thing, you need a CRM. Okay. If you don't have a CRM, you are your CRM. Okay.
That's right.
I mean, you're literally,
you is one.
You're gonna lose papers, right? You're gonna lose papers. Okay. But if you have it in front of you and you have it in a database and it's constantly reminding you every single day, and all you have to do is log in and literally go, okay, I need to do this, and this, which is what KvCore is going to do. Then you know what? You can automate this system to where literally you spend 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night doing what you need to do. You got to understand, you'll be able to download an app on your phone and you can respond to the leads as they come in directly from your phone, because it's going to have a built-in dialer inside of the phone. A lot of people don't even know that the app inside the phone has a built-in dialer. And so you can literally be making your phone calls or returning your text or whatever all day long through your phone. And then at night, just go through, do what you need to do, and let the system work for you, right? The whole purpose of the system, the whole purpose of campaigns or a CRM or anything like that is to get somebody to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested in buying or selling, right?
Yeah.
And then let it do the heavy lifting for you. And then whenever someone says I'm interested, now you can step in and try to sell them a home or list their home or whatever.
It is pretty awesome. I will tell you, it does work, because I'm just thinking, and I'm phasing out of production as my sales organization, revenue share organization with EXP has gone national and international, but I still do a little bit of production that comes my way. And so, KvCore is running behind the scenes and everything. And I get a text that says, and it was a responder text or whatever. It says, yes, we are, thinking about selling, or, they were interested in my listing that I had put up or whatever. And so I reached out to them and had a quality conversation. And it's probably, I got to list their house so they can then buy potentially my listing, so it's potentially 2 deals.
Exactly.
Like, wow, I wasn't doing really anything other than I took the listing and did the marketing and the done for you and, all these different things. And KvCore literally was working behind the scenes.
And that's that's the whole purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I'm not out there hustling on that transactional treadmill nearly as much as before. And even someone like me, KvCore is working in the background and got me that connection and so forth. And I'm like, wow, this is a game changer. And lastly, if they were to get this on their own, I've been told it's a minimum of $500 a month with a 1-year contract. Am I correct on that?
Yeah. It's going to cost you about $2,000, $1,500 to $2,000 down. And it's approximately right around $600 a month.
Oh, wow. So it's even more than what I'm telling people. So approximately $600 a month. You have to sign a 1-year contract, and then there's a setup fee and all that stuff. Oh, wow. And every EXP agent, there's no setup fee or whatever. It's $85 a month.
That's it.
And, and all the other stuff that's included in the $85 a month. Wow. It is a no-brainer. Well, hey, Shannon, thank you so much for spending the time. I know you're super busy. Really, really appreciate it. This is going to be very valuable to you agents out there that are at other companies, quite frankly. And, maybe now's the time to make a change. Maybe, I know when I left Coldwell Banker, in my comfort zone at Coldwell Banker, I realized from an old coach and mentor that said, there's no growth in your comfort zone. You have to get uncomfortable. It's in your discomfort that you grow, and that's how we get better. And so I realized that, and I pulled the trigger and moved over to a company 23 years ago called Keller Williams, and my business tripled because it made me own it. And I really said, okay, I made this move. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to grow my business. And so I've always taken that principle. And I, throughout the years of doing this 28 years, I've been at a few different companies after Keller Williams. And now ultimately my final home is EXP. And so if you have in the back of your mind that, I probably should make a move. The market shifted, I'm a little stale. I think I need a little spark in my business. I don't know that I'm getting too much more inspiration or training or what have you at my current brokerage. Maybe I should take a look at what this whole EXP thing is all about. And I would say, yes, you do. You really do need to take a serious deep dive. Put your business hat on, put your ego aside, and really study this thing like a business owner, businessman, businesswoman, and you will be blown away. I promise you will be blown away at the value add that EXP has put together and is continually adding more and more almost on a daily basis. That is their passion, their drumbeat, their mission is, how do we make this the absolute no-brainer, best opportunity for realtors, not brokers and all that, but realtors in the world? How do we become the #1 brokerage in the world because we're loving on realtors and changing their lives? So thank you, Shannon. Appreciate you, my man. I know you're busy, and we're signing off for now. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.